it's been an extraordinary 24 hours from New Zealand. I mean, let's think about it. Less than 24 hours ago, they discovered that there was one identified case of COVID-19 in the community in Auckland less than 24 hours ago. 4 hours later, they locked down the whole of the country. This morning, we find out there are more, and we find out it's Delta. And, at that point, 24 hours ago, the market was thinking that the RBNZ wouldn't just deliver 20, but 25, but actually that they might lift the policy rate by 50 basis points. Today, they don't deliver anything. They just say, actually, this lockdown means that we've backed away and not delivering anything in terms of moves. But as you say, and rightly so, if you look at the collection of economic indicators, you look at even the forecasts and the scenarios that the RBNZ sets out, they're really quite clearly saying that actually the economy is booming. There's an upswing going on in growth. There's an upswing in inflation. It's above target. Inflation expectations have lifted. The housing market is unsustainable. And even today's statement from the RBNZ says we're not going to lift rates today, but actually we're going to need to withdraw some of the stimulus given the macro features. So it really all comes down to that risk that what's happening right now in terms of the virus gets more momentum and exists for longer and spreads further and actually sees the whole economic story change. It's a very touch and go, knife edge situation and an extraordinary 24 hours, really.
So I don't necessarily want to throw a hypothetical at you, but say that New Zealand does have, I suppose, a similar amount of success in really, I suppose, stamping out the Delta variant this time around in terms of their COVID success. Do you think that there's any kind of possibility that they might call one of those emergency meetings in September if, assuming the COVID-19 situation improves, and then hiking then, or do we have to just wait until October in your eyes?
Oh, look, I think we're going to be sticking to the schedule in all likelihood. It's pretty rare to think that a central bank would call a meeting in an emergency to lift rates. It has happened to loosen things, but I don't think that's something that you're likely to see. But I do, we're of the view, assuming that the Delta variant is contained, the virus is contained, the economy is in a strong upswing. I mean, it's pretty clear that the evidence is there for them to need to withdraw some of that stimulus if that's the scenario we're in. Of course, we could be in a different state of the world where the measures don't necessarily contain the outbreak, a lot like we're seeing here in Australia, in New South Wales, where the numbers continue to climb, and that just changes the game altogether. So it's very much about the uncertainty associated with how much the virus might transmit, how much momentum it might get, and that's going to be one of the key driving features of the pathway for rates from here.